Hey everybody, it's Paul Grossman, your friendly neighborhood dark arts wizard, and today I'm talking for a brief moment about this book that I wrote with Larry Goddard, that is the test automation with WebdriverIO. Now the thing is, I'm a little psychic, I can tell some of you are saying, Paul, what does that have to do with me? I don't use WebdriverIO. I use Selenium or some other tool. But that's okay, because inside of here we've actually embedded a whole bunch of little tips and tricks that are applicable to almost any automation tool that you're coding in. And today I'm going to show you one right now. Let's say that I am trying to find an option from a drop-down list. We're going to go through 3 of them real quickly, from easy, intermediate to really difficult. Here we have the Internet Heroku app, and I've got a drop-down list. Now, if I wanted to see what was inside of that, I would simply right-click on the list and select Inspect, and this gives us our Developers Tools windows. You can see that we are highlighted with this element over here because it is being found by Selectors Hub on the right hand side over here, which I like to use. The only thing is that's the drop down list. What we're actually looking for is the option 1 and option 2. Do we know that that actually exists? Well, yes. If I hit Control F down here, if I type in option 2, we're going to find that, yeah, we do have one option out there called option 2. And if I also put this into a locator, like we're looking for an option that contains the text option 2, we're going to find that, yes, there is one element that exists, but it also gives us a warning saying, hey, it's not interactable because it's not visible on the screen. Not a problem. We can work with that. That's okay. That's easy enough to get a locator. Now, what if we go to something a little bit more difficult? Let's say I want to select Worcestershire from my Candy Mapper drop-down list. There it is over here, and of course it isn't visible, but it does exist in the DOM. If we again do the exact same thing, we can look for Worcestershire. Yes, we find it 3 times on the screen, once inside of the text over here, once inside of our list, and then of course a 3rd time in a option description over here. So if I go over here and to Selectors Hub and I pop in Worcestershire, it'll come back and say, yes, there is one matching element. Again, it gives me a warning saying, hey, it wasn't displayed on the screen, but I can still know that it's there in the DOM. That's pretty easy to work with. That's not a problem whatsoever. But let's say we get even more complex. We go over to Telerik with their Kendo React UI. We have a nice little drop down over here, but this is a slightly different one. It's a combo box. Let's say I want to switch this to Sweden. Well, first thing I want to do is type in Sweden and see if there's any matches for Sweden. And guess what? We get 0 of 0. Nothing is appearing over there. What if I put this into my locator and say I want Sweden over there? What does it come back with? It says 0 matching elements, but I'm pretty sure Sweden's in there because if I type in SW over here, yes, Sweden actually exists. So how are we going to be able to get that selector if it doesn't even exist in the DOM until you start typing it? Well, there's a little trick that Selectors Hub has. You can say turn on debugger, and I am going to go over here and hit SW, and within just seconds this pauses in the debugger, and now I can go and highlight this particular element and I can see that there is a locator for it over here. I can hit enter. I have one match, a 1 of 1, perfect. And if I go over here and put Sweden into this locator over here, it comes back and says, but in this case this is a combo box. And as you can see, it's not using an option, it's actually using a span. So I could choose, say, span and go find it, and yes, we find one matching element right there. I could also say I could use a star and match that. It would still match one item out there. Isn't that cool? This is the cool stuff you get with Selectors Hub, and it's right here on page 125 of our book, Enhanced Test Automation with WebdriverIO, not just for WDIO people, also for newbies who are just getting into test automation. Lots and lots of tips and tricks inside this book. I'm Paul Grossman, the Dark Arts Wizard, and have yourself a great day. Ooh, check below. There's a link to buy the book, and we also have a discount code right here up until December 31st. From Amazon and Peck Publishing. I'm Paul Grossman, your friendly neighborhood Dark Arts Wizard, wishing you the very happiest of holidays. Have yourself a great day.